today we are going to be working on finding the area of a rectangle or square. So I'm going to write area of rectangle and square. Page 99. Okay, so let's start with writing our objective. So today I will find the area of a rectangle and square. Okay, before we start doing the math, let's just go over some new vocab that we're going to come into contact with over the course of this unit. So first, let's define what a rectangle is and what a square is. So first, I'm going to draw a rectangle. A rectangle is a four-sided figure where two sides are equal. So not all four sides are the same length, but two sides are the same length. So for example, these two sides are equal. Let's say they're both, 7 centimeters. Oop. So let's just say if you measured that space or that rectangle, this whole length would be 7 centimeters. Okay, they're congruent, they are the same. Okay, and as you can see, the other sides are not the same length. If you turn those around, they are not as long as the 7 centimeters. So I might just put one line saying that these two are equal, okay? And let's say that these are only 2 centimeters. Okay, so this is called a rectangle. And I'm gonna say where 2 sides are equal in length. Okay, and then we have a square, which is when all 4 sides are the exact same length. So every side is the same length. So we could say that this side is 2 centimeters, which means this is 2 centimeters, this is 2 centimeters, and this is 2 centimeters. So with a square, all 4 sides are equal in length. Okay, so now that we've defined what a rectangle is and what a square is, now we're going to dive into some vocab with dealing with area. So let's write vocabulary. Okay, first off, let's define what area is. So area is the total space inside a flat object. So let's just say we drew a rectangle. All of this space inside is what we call the area. Okay, so everything that fills in that space is the area. It uses squared inches. Or not squared inches. Well, it does use squared inches, but not just. So squared units of measure. So this might look like inches squared or feet squared or yards squared. Okay, so the area is the measurement inside, how much space it takes up on the inside. Okay, now when we're finding the area, there's a certain formula that we follow to multiply. So we're going to write that right now. So area formula is, so area equals length times width. Or a lot of times we'll see it A equals L, like a cursive L, times W. Okay, so here's kind of an example of what that might look like. So let's draw another rectangle. Scoot it up a little. Okay, so this is the length, how long something is. So when you think of length, think long. So the longer side. And then width is how wide something is. So I'm going to turn my page. And I'm going to write width here, and I'm going to write wide. So when you're thinking of this, we're kind of looking down on an object. So if we were kind of in the front of this building, this would be kind of what your eyes are seeing, and then if you turn the corner, you would see how wide it was in. So when you're doing the area, let's say that the length is 8 centimeters and the width is 2 centimeters. You would just multiply 8 times 2 and that would give you the length inside. Okay, let's put our steps here and then we'll turn and practice a few. So our steps to find the area are: step 1, write the formula. So we're going to write L times W, length times width. Step 2, fill in info and solve. So then we take what numbers we're dealing with and we fill them in. So we would put 8 where the L is, and then 2 where the W is. And then step 3, which is really important, we don't want to miss this part, is label answer with correct squared units. And that's really important because if you miss this step, you'll get the problem wrong, especially on the SBAC. So step 3 is super important. Okay, so let's practice a few. Let's turn my page. Okay, so let's practice. What is the area of a rectangular garden with a length of 10 and a width of 5. Oop, can't forget our units. Our width of 5 feet. So this, I'm gonna add feet up here. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is just draw it out really quick. So how long is it? It's 10 feet long and it's 5 feet wide. Okay, step 1 is to write our formula. Our formula for finding area is A equals length times width. Step 2 is to fill in our known information and solve. So A is still unknown, so I'm going to keep it with A because I don't know that yet. So A equals, well, my length is 10 feet, so 10 feet times my width is 5 feet. And that will give me what? A equals 10 times 5. We can just do 5 times 1 and then add a 0. 50 feet. And because there's 2 of them, it's now going to be squared. So my area is 50 feet squared. And my 2 kind of goes, it's like a tiny 2 and it's up at the top. Hope you can see that. Okay, let's do one more. Find the area. Ooh, spell the area wrong. Of this figure. So let's say we get a figure that looks like this. We have 6 yards. And then we have 3 yards. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is write our formula. So A equals length times width. Step 2 is to now fill in our known information. My length is how long something is. So my length is 6 yards times my width is 3 yards. Now I solve. 6 times 3 is 18 yards, but then I gotta remember my squared. So my area is 18 yards squared. Okay, I'm just going to give you one to work on tonight. So I'm just going to draw you a rectangle and I want you to find the area. So let's do 9 feet long and let's do 30 feet wide. Okay, so find the area. Okay,